Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt here. Tanks Lawn Maintenance. Back at you with another one. It is currently 3:18 p.m. Wednesday, February the 7th, 2024, year of our Lord. I just want to get on here and talk to some of the young guys that may be still in high school, maybe just graduating high school. And I know a lot of people, it takes them a long time to crack the code on how to get wealthy. And when I say wealthy, I don't necessarily mean a millionaire or billionaire or just, somebody that's well off. That's really what I mean. Somebody that's well off, somebody that can be independent. You know what I mean? Doesn't need any help from anybody. Nobody at all. All right. Now the first thing I want you to do is think about, what is wealth to you? What does being wealthy mean? How much money do you have or have to make before you consider yourself wealthy? Is it $100,000 a year? Is it $1 million a year? Is it having $500,000 in your bank account? Is it having $1 million saved up? Is it having land, multiple houses or properties, whatever you want to say? What is wealth to you? That's really what will determine how you go about being wealthy. But what I want to do is, I want to give you a good foundation on where you can start, no matter what wealth is to you. And when I say where you can start, this, like I said, this is meant for the young guys, preferably people that are still in high school or have just graduated high school and are trying to figure out what to do with themselves. And this is something that I really wish somebody would have told me when I was a teenager, because I absolutely would have done this. And I'd be in a lot better position than what I am right now. All right, just say you're between the ages of 17 and 19, and you have either just graduated high school or you are about to graduate high school, and you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life. Okay, first things first. Your late teen years, 17, 18, 19 years old, graduate high school. The first thing I want you to do is get some education, okay? Preferably, I want you to learn a trade. You can go to tech school and you can get a trade that way, or you can join one of your local union halls and become an apprentice in the union. Okay, but the main thing is learn a trade, whether it be welding, HVAC, plumbing, electrician, whatever it may be. Learn a trade, okay? Now, most of the time, trade school is going to take you 2 years to complete, okay? But it will be worth it. It will be worth it. In the meantime, while you're going to trade school, the first thing I want you to do as soon as you graduate high school is get you a job. And get you a job that's going to be flexible on their hours. You need to work as many hours as you can, but you also need to be flexible on those hours, because you need to make time for school, okay? You need to make time to go to school a few hours a day for 5 days a week. And I highly recommend going to school through the summer. If you can do weekend courses or online courses to speed up the process, then by all means do that, okay? Now, this job, it can be any job. You can get a job at a car wash. You can get a job flipping burgers, sacking groceries, pumping gas, whatever. Get you a job. anything is better than nothing. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is work as many hours as you can in that job for 6 months. Once that 6 months is up, I want you to take everything you made, assuming you didn't spend anything. The only thing you should have been spending is gas money. Now, you're in school. I want you to stay living with your parents. If your parents will allow it, I want you to live with your parents while you're in school, okay? Stay with your parents look, that's golden. Stay with your parents for a while if you can, if they'll allow it. Now, 9 times out of 10, parents are going to allow their children to stay with them while they're still in school. And if you're a parent, you won't let your child stay with you while they're not in school, unless that child just becomes too big for his britches. There's a lot to be said about that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave that alone. But your parents should let you stay long enough to finish up school at minimum. Now, get you a job, work that job for 6 months. Don't spend any money other than gas. Don't go out eating nice dinners. Don't go out chasing girls. Don't be out partying and drinking with your buddies. Don't be out buying all kinds of stupid stuff. Okay? Save every dime you make. Now, 6 months from then, or after 6 months of working that little job, I want you to take everything you made. Now, I want you to go to Home Depot. You should have enough built up at that point. I want you to go to Home Depot. I want you to buy a good push mower, preferably one that's self-propelled, whether it be personal pace or just regular self-propelled. But buy a good push mower. Don't buy some little cheap Murray or yard machine or whatever that is. Buy a good push mower. Something like a Toro, Husqvarna. If you can find a Honda, you probably ain't, but if you can, get something like that. Get a straight shaft weed eater. I highly recommend Echo PAS 225. Because if you do that, you'll have a weed eater and you can buy the edger attachment. Get that, and you can do this one or two ways. You can either buy a good handheld blower or you can buy a good backpack blower. But buy the cheap stuff, okay? Don't go out and buy an $800 blower and $1,000 push mower or a $600 weed eater and a $600 edger. You don't need to do all that right now. But I want you to focus on those 3 things, okay? I'll put good push mower, a good combi system as far as trimmers go, and then a good blower. Now, what I want you to do is take some of that. You should have some left over, all right? I want you to print out some business cards. Come up with a name, come up with a logo, print out some business cards, get you an LLC, start you a business account, okay? Get an EIN number, start a business account. After you do that, you still should have some money left over. It ain't gonna be a lot, but you should have some money left over. Print some flyers or door hangers, okay? Start putting them out. Anytime you come across somebody, just strike up a conversation with some random person, hand them a business card. When you go to church on Sundays, hand some of the older crowd a couple business cards. Tell them to help you get your name out there. Anytime you go to the gas station, leave your business card at the pump. That way people see it. Get on Facebook, start a business page on Facebook and hit some of your local HOA pages. Do whatever it takes. Get your name out there. Knock on doors if you got to. Now, I still want you to work that job, but cut back on your hours some and focus on your business. Take that little side hustle, and as it gets bigger, let your little job become smaller, and eventually your little side hustle is going to phase out that little job you have. Leave on good terms. Always leave on good terms if you can. But let your grass cutting side hustle phase out your job. Now, all this going on while you're still in school, okay? You're still not spending any money except for what you have to spend on equipment and gas, fuel, whatever it takes to run your business. That's the only money I want you to spend. Put some back for taxes. The rest of it, keep for your business. Don't spend a dime. Alright. The time should be getting close. After about a year and a half, 2 years, the time should be getting close for you to get an associate's degree or a technical degree of some sort, and you graduate from that. Alright? Now what I want you to do is you have one or two options here. You need to make a decision. Assuming you're still living at home with your parents, you need to make a decision at this point. You need to decide whether you want to pursue your side hustle of cutting grass, lawn and landscape, or if you want to start a business doing whatever trade you set out to get a degree in. Okay? Now, at this point, 2 years, you haven't spent any money. You should have a good chunk of money saved up. Okay? You really should. You should have a good chunk of money saved up. Assuming you haven't spent anything. What I want you to do at this point is go out and get yourself if you decide to do lawn and landscape, okay? What I want you to do is go out and get yourself a 14 or 16 foot open trailer. If you can find one with wire mesh sides on it, get that. Go buy you one commercial mower, whether it be a stand-on mower or a sit-down machine or even a walker. I mean, just decide what's going to work best for you. Go buy you 2 commercial trimmers. One of them needs to be a combi, okay? But go buy 2 commercial trimmers, Stihl or Echo. That one that's the combi, get all the parts that you need for that, okay? The attachments, whether it be a straight shaft, edger attachment, a hedge trimming attachment, some extensions, pole pruner attachment, whatever it may be. Get whatever services you decide to offer, assuming you're going to do lawn and landscape for a little while, whatever services you decide to offer, get the attachments that are necessary for those services. Now, I want you to go out and I want you to buy a good backpack blower, okay? Doesn't matter what brand, but buy a good one, a commercial grade. At this point in your business, I want you to convert everything to commercial grade, okay? And like I said, you should have a good chunk of money saved up at this point, so you should be able to afford to pay cash for all of this stuff. Now, the equipment you have been using, hang on to it. You never know what could happen, and you need to keep that as a backup for a little while. Alright, now, if your parents will allow it, you need to stay with them for a few years longer, if they will allow it. But you don't need to be a freeloader. You need to contribute to the house, whether that be chip in with groceries, chip in with the rent or mortgage, help pay some bills, whatever it may be. Talk to your parents, decide what it is that's going to work best, and go with it. It may be a situation where they don't ask you to pay anything and they don't expect you to pay anything. When it comes to my kids, they can stay here as long as they need. And most parents in this, I can't speak for the rest of the United States, but most parents in this area feel that way with their kids, okay? But I want you to take your business to the next level, okay? You're out of school. You've got nothing but time on your hands. I don't want you to go work for another man, okay? You have no bills. You've paid cash for all your equipment. You have no living expenses. The only expenses you should have is a cell phone bill and your fuel cost. That's it. Save as much money as you can. You need to separate your business from your personal bank account, okay? Half of that money needs to go in your business account, half of that needs to go in your personal bank account. And then it's up to you how you decide to split it up from there. But when it comes to your business and personal, you need to split it half and half. Now, when it comes to your business, I want you to take half of what you're putting into your business account and start a savings account. Okay? Leave that savings account there for taxes. Now, for the next 5 years, I want you to go as hard as you can possibly go. Pick up as many customers as you can pick up. Price everything accordingly and correctly. I want you to think outside the box as much as possible and be creative. You are now an entrepreneur. Get creative, okay? Make as much money as you can for the next 5 years. Now, by the time you're 25 years old, as long as you're not going out blowing money, you should have enough saved up to pay cash for a house, pay cash for a good vehicle, and still have plenty of money left over. Okay? Now, look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're in business for 3 to 4 years, there's no reason you're not making $100,000 or more in your business. You really should be. If you're not, it means you're not pushing hard enough, and you need to push it harder. Okay? By the time you're 25 years old, you should be set. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should have $1 million in your bank account, but you should have close to $250,000 saved up. Okay? $250,000, you can do a lot of things, a whole lot of things. Now, at this point, I want you to really focus hard on taking your business to the next level. You just bought yourself a house. You just bought yourself a nice vehicle, okay? And when I say a nice vehicle, I mean a good, solid work truck, all right? Brand new, under warranty. You should be set for a little while. You should be good for a little while. And you should still have some money left over for breakdowns and things like that. It may be wise to go ahead at this point and buy you a backup mower, trimmer, blower, etc., and possibly even upgrade your trailer if you feel like it's time to do that. But I want you to really focus on taking your business to the next level, okay? You should still have a little bit of time on your hands. You should still be working solo at this point. Hopefully not. You know, maybe the Lord blessed you richly and abundantly, and He's grown you to the point where you have 2 or 3 guys working for you, and you're turning $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year by this 5-year mark. It's very well possible. And if that's the case, hey, good for you. Good for you. There really is no reason you shouldn't have a ton of money saved up. But that's what I want you guys to do. You know, you hear a lot of your old timers say, you know, especially me when I was a younger man, everybody around me harped on me about getting a good job with benefits, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's anything wrong with that, because there's a lot of benefits to having a 9-to-5 job with benefits and retirement. There really is. But you have to look at it like this, okay? You're getting older every second of the day. You're not getting younger. You're not getting any younger. The only thing you're getting that is benefiting you is wisdom with time. That's all you get that benefits you with time is wisdom. Now, you might get you a good job with benefits and retirement, insurance, all that good stuff. And if you stay long enough, you can make $100,000 a lot of times. Most of the time not, but a lot of times you can. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the one thing you don't get working for another man is freedom, okay? You are bound to that time clock and that job every day. You've got to come in, punch that time clock at 7 or 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, and punch it again at 5 in the afternoon. And you might get 2 or 3 vacations every year. If you're fine with that, and that's your idea of wealth, then by all means, have at it. But that is not my idea of freedom, and that is not my idea of the American dream. When you're working for another man, you are a slave to that man, okay? Yes, he's paying you for your service, but the bottom line is you are a slave until you go into business for yourself. And I heard somebody say this in a video one time before, and this is very true. Nobody starts a business with the employee in mind. Nobody does that. Most of the time, people start businesses in an attempt to get rich. Their employees are just there as a tool to help them get rich, not for the employees to get rich. That's not the way it's set up. That's not the way any job is set up. So if you want to get rich, you want to get wealthy, you need to take another man's name off of your shirt and put your own name on your shirt, okay? Whether it be whatever trade you decide to pursue, whatever it be, whatever business endeavor you decide to grab a hold of, you need to go to work for yourself if you want to get rich. That's the only way it's going to happen. Yeah, you've got doctors and lawyers that are very, very, very wealthy, but we're not. I mean, let's face it, if you're watching this video, you're probably not a doctor or a lawyer, okay? You're not a scholar. You're trying to figure it out. But it starts, the best way to do it is to start when you are young, a late teenager, in your late teenage years. Stay with your parents as long as you can. Get you a trade. Put that trade in your back pocket if it's not something you want to do for the rest of your life. But it's always good to learn a trade, because as long as you have a trade, you won't go hungry, okay? So it's good to have that trade to fall back on. Keep that in your back pocket. But live with your parents until you're about 25 years old, if your parents will permit it. Save as much as you can. Save as much as you can. Don't go out chasing girls. Don't go out drinking, doing drugs, partying, all that good stuff. Don't go out blowing your money. You know, the older you get, the more you'll realize money is not an easy thing to come by. And it's something that you have to have for everything you do in life. So save as much money as you can possibly save and get yourself a business. Start your business. Take damn good care of your business. Wait till you're close to 30 years old to get married and start having kids, okay? Get yourself established first, then get married, then have kids, then you can worry about living your life, okay? By that point, if you follow that method, by that point, you'll be very close to being a millionaire. But nobody told me that when I was a youngin'. I wish they would have, but the reality is it can be done. It just takes a lot of work, a lot of hard work. It takes patience, and it takes a lot of discipline. But by the time you are 30 years old, you can be a very wealthy man or woman, okay? And like I said, wealth is different to everybody, but you have to decide what that means to you. But anyway, man, I hope you got something out of that. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Make sure you get notified anytime I put out a video. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, and until the next one, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.